Namaskara. I am Manorama. Welcome you to the Noopura Bhramari Sarani series, episode 9. What are all the areas that come under the ocean of Shruti Sampradaya and what don't? The entire Sanatana Parampara lies within the Shruti and Smritis. Effective listenership is the prime factor in understanding and obtaining knowledge. Shruti, the art of listening, is also synonymous to Nada, which is the energy behind Srishti, Sthiti, and Laya. Shrutir Mata Laya Pita, which is the Ardhanarishvara Tattva, lays emphasis on the sanctity of the union of melody and rhythm. So, why shouldn't the audio series concentrate on Laya, which always accompanies Shruti? Yes, that is what we present to you this time. This episode brings Sri Arun Sreenivasan, who is a dance practitioner, a research scholar, and the head of the department in Performing Arts, Jain, deemed to be University, Bengaluru. His interest lies in aesthetics, Bharatanatyam, literature, and sculpture. He is also one of the faculty members for Noopurabhramari courses. Today he is sharing his thoughts on the relationship between Chandas and Tala. We know of the time when Indra requested Brahma to provide a Veda which would be an entertaining sport both in terms of visual appeal and listenership. The origin of Natyaveda lies in this. Kridaniyakamichhamo drishyam shravyam cha yadbhavet. Hence, it is evident that the balance between these two enhances Natya, which becomes Kridaniyaka and entertains. The beauty of an art form lies simultaneously in both Drishya and Shravya. Chandas is a form that enhances the beauty of Akshara Vyanjana, which is most often understood by sight, but the aim is for it to be enjoyable as we hear it. Whereas a Tala by nature is more relatable as we listen to it, but very abstract to be given a visual. Yet it aims at how it can be friendly to the eyes. This kind of a special dampatya, which both these concepts share, is directed towards Adbhuta or Shanta Rasa as its goal. This dampatya is the beautiful amalgamation where the form corresponds with the content and the resulting factor is a rasa shishu. The child is bliss and Bhagavanta. Now, let us give our ears to Arun's discussion. I would like to thank him for his support and cooperation. Over to Arun.
Salutations to our parents and gurus. Namaste. Kavya literature has always fascinated us in many ways, and we have an eye on it for dance adaptation always. However, we struggle to understand the structure of Kavya Sahitya since it is not in the structure of Karnataka classical music pedagogy as we understand today. A little thought about Alankara Shastra and Karnataka classical music pedagogy will help us in many ways. To begin with, let us concentrate on understanding the relationship between the Chandas system and the Tala system. Chandas is a system in which poetry is composed. Like how a raga takes birth and shape with specific combination of swaras, Chandas is a meter encompassing a definite number of laghu and guru aksharas in a particular structure. Our daily prayers like Saraswati Namastubhyam, Vakratunda Mahakaya, Deepanjyoti Parambrahma and the like are all shlokas set to a meter called Anushtup. Apart from this, there are many chandases like Vasanta Tilaka, Upajati, Indravajra, Upendravajra, Arya, Ratodhata, and many more. Like how no two ragas are same, no two chandases are same. Chandas is natural to a language. We are aware about the Tala system of our Karnataka classical music. Much has been discussed by practitioners and scholars. However, to brief, we have basic governing factors called Jati, Gati, and Nade. We have 7 Alankara Talas and 5 Chapu Talas. The relationship between Chandas and Tala at the surface level, however, is twofold. First, the terms in Chandas and Tala. In the Chandas system, or according to grammar, Laghu is something which is light and Guru is heavy or stretched. As we know, Laghu Akshara takes the time of one snap of fingers to pronounce and Guru Akshara takes the time of two snap of fingers to pronounce. For example, Ka is 1, Ka is 1, 2. Like we discussed above, Chandas is a meter with a definite number of Laghu and Guru Aksharas in some structure. In the Tala system of today, we don't practice the term Guru. Laghu and Dhrita are two elements of a Tala with equal time pace as set. For example, the time lapsed to complete the Laghu half of Adi Tala is the same as the time lapsed to complete the Dhrita half. That is, Laghu half will take up 4 matras and Dhrita half will take up the remaining 4 in the Adi Tala. Perhaps the distinction of Laghu, Dhrita and Anudhrita was made for the convenience of remembering the exact moment in the Tala cycle. But however, different time paces, that is different matras, are accommodated in the Tala system. Meaning, if there are 8 matras, then Adi Tala will consume all 8. But if there are 9 matras, then it shall be forwarded to the next cycle of Adi Tala. The system of cycles of Tala until the completion of matras is the tradition in the Karnataka classical music system. Secondly, the structure and purpose. The Tala system has 7 Alankara Talas and 5 Chapu Talas in practice today. Depending on the jati, that is the fundamental structure, we have 35 basic Alankara Tala variations. So essentially, we have 40 varieties of Talas, that is 35 Alankara Talas and 5 Chapu Talas in practice generally. Most of our kritis are satisfactorily accommodated among the 40 varieties. On the other hand, the Chandas system works slightly in a different way. In the Chandas system, although it needs initial training and practice in the beginning, the bhava naturally dictates the poet to compose in a particular way, which will finally arrive or rather articulate on its own to a particular Chandas in the end. This is like a jati composition for a percussionist or composing a swaramettu for a vocalist or an instrumentalist. Let us consider the Vasanta Tilaka and Sragdhara Chandases. The Vasanta Tilaka has 14 aksharas in each pada or line. An example for this can be the Vishwanathashtakam of Vedavyasa Maharshi. गंगातरंग रमणीय जटाकलापम गौरी निरंतर विभूषित वामभागम नारायण प्रियमनंग मदापहारम वाराणसी पुरपतिम भज विश्वनाथम. Meaning, Devagange, who came down to earth with unmatchable robustness, also became an alankara for Shiva when he gracefully draped his jata with Ganga. He enlightens the world with bright and brimming Gauri on his side. The carriage drawn by men called Kama and its resultant Mada in the world is vanquished by him. He resides in the Varanasi, the Lord of the world. The Sragdhara, on the other hand, has 21 aksharas in each pada or line. Vidwan Appaya Dikshita, in a composition on Shiva, says, ಮೌಲೌ ಗಂಗಾ ಶಶಾಂಕೌ ಕರಚರಣತಲೆ ಶೀತಲಾಂಗಾ ಭುಜಂಗಾಃ ವಾಮೇ ಭಾಗೆ ದಯಾರ್ದ್ರಾ ಹಿಮಗೇರಿದುಹಿತಾ ಚಂದನಂ ಸರ್ವಗಾತ್ರೆ ಇತ್ತಂ ಶೀತಂ ಪ್ರಭೂತಂ ತವ ಕನಕಸಭಾ ನಾತಸೋಢುಂ ಕ್ವ ಶಕ್ತಿಃ ಚಿತ್ತೇ ನಿರ್ವೇದತಪ್ತೆ ಯದಿ ಭವತಿ ನತೆ ನಿತ್ಯವಾಸೋ ಮದೀಯೇ. Through your locks flow the cold Ganga and the cold moonshine. On your arms are cold serpents moving majestically. On your side is the compassionate daughter of the cold mountains, and you have applied the cold sandal paste. O Lord of the Golden Horn, how are you able to bear such cold? You are welcome to stay eternally in my heart, which is hot due to sins I commit. Observe how in both the verses the Bhakta is praising the Lord of his beautiful form and features. Both are verses of Stuti, but there is a difference in the very sound of it, I mean the way it is put across. The first verse is an outpour. The power of Shiva to hold a pride and robust Ganga, the bright Shakti or Gauri as his half, the sustenance of the burn of Manmata, and yet he quietly resides in Varanasi. The second verse, however, says, the timid sprinkles of the droplets of Ganges wet his locks and body while flowing down. The mild snow of the moon encircle his body while flowing down. The serpents majestically sway around his arms and body, drawing beautiful patterns with the already applied cool sandal paste. Parvati here is gracefully sitting on his lap. The verses don't contradict each other. The bhava is the same, but the method of conveying is different. Let us now listen to the music rendition of the same.
जटाकलापं गौरी निरन्तर विभूषितवामभागं नारायणप्रियमनङ्ग मदापहारं वाराणसीपुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम् मूलो गंगा शशांको करचरणतले शीतलांगा भुजंगाः वामे भागे दयार्द्रा हिमगिरिदुहिता चन्दनं सर्वगात्रे इत्थं शीतं प्रभूतं तव कनकसभा नाथ सोढुं क्व शक्तिः चित्ते निर्वेदतप्ते यदि भवति नते नित्यवासो
See how an imagery is created in our minds. It is evident that both intention and structure gel. In other words, it is a beautiful combination of content giving birth to a form or structure. If suppose we want to interchange the two verses with respect to Chandas, I mean the bandha, we need to rewrite it completely because we cannot fit one into another. Looking at it from the mathematical point of view, Vasanta Tilaka has 14 aksharas in each pada. and Sragdhara comprises of 21 aksharas in each pada. Although mathematically speaking, both 14 and 21 will condense to a common divisible number, the structure of the verse and arrangement, or rather the placement of aksharas, is significantly different. This is purposefully done by the poet. This feature of distinction or distinctivity is a prominent feature of the Indian system of arts itself. For example, the fundamental difference between Shankarabharana and Kalyani is in the Madhyamaswara. Shankarabharana has Shuddha Madhyama and Kalyani has Prati Madhyama. Apart from this, the remaining swaras are the same. But still, both these ragas sound different and distinct from each other because the Jivaswara of Shankarabharana comes from Chaturshruti Rishabhasthana, while Kalyani emulates in Antara Gandhara and Kakali Nishadasthana apart from Chaturshruti Rishabhasthana. There is a difference in gamakas of both these ragas also. Similarly, Mishra Chapu Tala has 7 counts. The same Mishra Chapu of 7 counts is not Khanda Atatala, which is 14 counts. This means that although mathematical calculations might tally, the structural understanding needs a deeper thought to approach a verse or any sahitya for musical composition. In other words, we need to look at the Chandas for the musical compositions, for it not only gives us maths but also the structure and the very approach of the poet. Let us revisit the Tala system of Karnataka classical music because the basic understanding of the fundamentals shall clarify our doubts in structure and in mathematics of the Tala as well. Tala in Karnataka classical music has 3 fundamental concepts. They are Laya, Jati and Gati. Jati is the fundamental structure of the Tala and Gati is the fundamental pace. For example, if the Tala is Trashara Jhampe, then as per the structure, that is Jati, it shall have a clap followed by counts of little finger and ring finger for Laghu, followed by which is an Anudhrita and finally a Dhrita. But the pace of the counts, that is the time taken between Laghu to Anudhrita to Dhrita, is called Gati. Gati is dynamic in nature. It shall be decided by the musician or a dancer in our case. Professor Sediyapu Krishna Bhatt, in his immortal work Chandogati, a valuable book on the concepts of Chandas, explains the concept of Laya like this. If we are to take a verse, naturally there are Laghu Aksharas and Guru Aksharas in that verse. The time lapsed for the effective reading of this verse as per their Lakshana, that is, as Laghu or Guru is Laya. Let us consider a few examples to understand this better. The word Kamala. Ka Akshara is Laghu, Ma Akshara is Laghu, La Akshara is Laghu. So, the time lapsed to pronounce Kamala is Laya. Similarly, the word Narayana. Na is Guru, Ra is Guru, Ya is Laghu, Na is Laghu. So, the time lapsed to pronounce Narayana is Laya. The word Kamalakanta. This is equivalent to Tadim Tadim Ta. Here, the time lapsed between the syllable Ta and Dhim. The time taken for the completion of Dhim syllable. And the time taken for the beginning of the second Ta and so on is Laya. Hence, the time taken for effective pronunciation of a syllable, the time taken to traverse between 2 syllables, and the time taken for the completion of the syllable is Laya. So, laya is not a beginning or an end of a tala, it is the very essence of a tala. Moreover, the physical manifestation of a tala comes from laya itself. Even in the case of non-lyrical practice of laya, like how we have korves or jatis in Bharatanatyam, the same rule of Kamala Kanta example is to be followed. Hence, one needs to sense it and practice it with concentration. This is important because we will understand the relationship between maths and structure of a tala and how one is dependent on the other. Take for example Kamala Kanta. This is equivalent to Tadhim Tadhimta, like we saw. Similarly, Kamalodbhava is Takadhimi Taka. Nalini Padma Takita Takitata. Observe how all three are multiples of 2, but still they sound very different, don't they? So, arrangement does have a role in structure. The point I am trying to make here is we must turn our eye towards laya more than tala, because tala is a physical manifestation of laya, as I said before, and structure does have a role in it. Naturally, we arrive to the question about the role of Chandas in Tala system. Our concentration now has been towards the very thought and approach behind this Chandas system. We are not looking at the physical and developed rules of the system, but we are discussing its conceptual brilliance. Composing in a particular meter, be it in Chandas or Tala, brings a dynamic pace of the padas and aksharas and enhances the appreciation of the poetry foremost. This crystallized form of poetry, can either concretize our emotions or it can gush out our emotions in a flow. For example, in a composition of Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganesh, the Swadhina Patika says, Ennavane Channanu Saupannanu Mannipudem Channavo Saujanyavo. The Nayika is brimming with joy with the presence of her lover. She is confident about her Nayaka and has no bounds for her love. The mere presence of him suffices. We can observe that there is pride which comes out of her intense love. This can be observed in the word ennavane and the statement ennavane channanu. Here, instead of composing this javali, the poet could have described events, recollection of incidents, or even elaboration of emotions. But poetry in a meter fills our ears and hearts, crystallizing a beautiful imagery. Let us listen to the excerpt of this javali in the immortal voice of Dr. Nagavali Nagaraj to understand this better.
Ennavane channano saupannano ennavane channano saupannano ennavane channano saupannano Manipude Channavo Saujanyavo Manipude Channavo Saujanyavo Ennavane Channano Saupannano Manipude
Observe the treatment of the structure and tala here. In terms of the structure, this avastha is beautifully brought out in the very first word, ennavane, with a pause after the word. the placement of gamakas in the frame of Rupaka Tala and the Guru Aksharas' end in each word beautifully crystallizes this avastha. The use of tabla, which is not uniformly going as threes or sixes, like generally in the case of Rupaka Tala playing, is adding more beauty. Layanvita compositions are those which innately have a sense of rhythm or laya in them. These are very soothing to hear because pada usage and aksharas are equally distributed. For example, the Ganesha Pancharatnam of Adi Shankaracharya. Mudakarata modakam sada vimukti sadhakam kaladharavatam shakam vilasiloka rakshakam. In this bandha, the first reading itself decides that it is Adi Tala in Trashragati. To take another example, Kallanagara Kandare Hala Nereyambaru Ditadanagara Kandare Kollembaraya. This vachana of Sri Basavanna very easily comes to Mishra Chapu. We need to observe that in both the cases it is Adi Tala in Trashragati and Mishra Chapu Tala only, and it cannot be anything else, meaning the verse in Adi Tala Trashragati and cannot be Chaturashra Rupaka or even Trashra Jhampe, although the mats of all the three are the same. And similarly, the vachana in Mishra Chapu cannot be sung or recited in Khanda Ata or even Khanda Rupaka. It is natural for a curious mind to exercise and make it fit into different talas of the same multiple or divisible numbers, but that doesn't still satisfy as much as its original pace or even have the same impact. Music has a term for explanation of such a concept called not having Saukhya. Meaning, if Saukhya is comfortable to sing, not having Saukhya or non-Saukhya is not comfortable or not natural to sing. The reason for not having Saukhya to sing is because of the structure and the placement of the aksharas in the verse. We saw that aksharas by themselves have a natural laya in them earlier. A collection of entire aksharas in the verse will naturally have a laya bandha of its own. The pace of Mudakarata Modakam very closely matches with Adi Tala in Trashragati. Hence, the pace is of 3 counts. The pace of Chaturashra Rupaka is 4. So naturally there is a void of 1 between Mudakarata Modakam, that is Aditala Trashragati, and Chaturashra Rupaka, which shall meet only in the end and very, very rarely somewhere in between, which goes unnoticed. Unless this is calculated separately, this shall remain Gauna throughout. Gauna meaning it shall not come to light or shall not be noticed unless observed keenly. In Kallanagara Kandare, the laya of this vachana closely matches with Mishra Chaputala, that is, counts of 7 repeatedly occurring. But Khanda Ata has a pace of 4 with 2 laghus and 2 dhritas, making it 14. And Khanda Rupaka has a pace of 4 again with 1 laghu and 1 dhrita, however. Just see, Mishra Chapu is takkitta takka dhimmi takkitta takka dhimmi, that is 3 plus 4. And Khanda Ata is takka takkitta takka takkitta takka dhimmi takka takkitta takka takkitta takka dhimmi, that is 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2. And Khanda Rupaka is takka takka takkitta takka takka takkitta, that is 2 plus 5. So the sound and feel of the 3 are different from each other, although they mathematically match. The distinctive feature of any Chaputala is its repetitive nature. That is, there is no dhrita to complete the cycle or no specific or defined laghu to begin the cycle, like in the case of an alankara tala. Meaning, an alankara tala of today has fixed number of laghu and dhritas to determine the beginning and also the end. This is because there is a defined structure, that is jati, and also a defined pace, that is gati. But in the chapu tala, the structure is the very pace of the tala. For example, Trashra Triputa is Trashra Jati Chaturashra Gati, that is pace, with one laghu and two dhritas, meaning takka dhimmi, takka dhimmi, takka dhimmi is the laghu, and takka dhimmi, takka jhannu, takka dhimmi, takka jhannu, that is clap and flip, is the dhrita. Although each beat is going in the pace of 4, we need to wait until the completion of the entire tala to take the fresh cycle. Mishra Chapu, on the other hand, is Mishra Jati and Mishra Gati with no defined laghu or dhrita, meaning any moment in the Chapu tala can be counted as the fresh beat, because every beat will be going in the pace of 7. In other words, the jati is the very gati itself in a chapu tala. It is not that chapu tala cannot be put any other way, or that we cannot replace an alankara tala in the place of a chapu tala. But the point is, chapu tala has a powerful impact by the very way of it. Every tala finally will reduce to a chapu tala in spirit, because a chapu tala is instinctive. Now that we have understood the relationship between structure and tala, let us continue our discussion in terms of the approach. One needs to have a keen eye on language and interest for the meaning primordially. Any art needs a foundation, that is, a vibhava-anubhava factor for it to evolve. Without this, technique will have a lesser scope, thereby reducing the significance. Let us assume an instance. The content and the words used in a particular verse is marvelous and awe-inspiring, and we want to use the same sahitya, in our dance, in spite of being aware that it is difficult to bring that inspiring verse, our chosen verse, to the tala system because of its unequal distribution. We need to remember here that although the verse which we have chosen is not paced equally throughout, there is a harmony holistically. Our solution in such cases perhaps is music, where akaras, ikaras, mkaras and such can be added to blend the verse to the tala system. One needs to sit with the poet or a scholar along with the musician, importantly, to understand where exactly can a pada be split or combined. This becomes important because akaras and ikara adding might change a laghu akshara to guru, thereby changing the meaning with a grammatical error. For a sahridaya, this might lead to disappointment. Let us consider the kriti of Vidwan Mysore Vasudevacharya Sri Chamundeshwari Palayamam to understand why understanding proper padacheda and ucharana is important. The very first line, the pallavi of the kriti itself has possibilities of wrong splits of words. This error goes against the very intention of the sahitya. Sri Chamundeshwari Palayamam. O Mother, Goddess Chamundeshwari, please protect me, is the original meaning. But due to padacheda at wrong place or even gamaka at wrong places, it has various versions. For example, Shri Chamundeshwari Pa Layamam. The meaning here becomes, O Mother, Goddess Chamundeshwari, please kill me. And also, Shri Cha Mund Shwari Palayamam or Palayamam. The meaning now turns to, O Mother, the bald-headed one, please protect me or please kill me. Such mistakes can be avoided. A second challenge is in the treatment of the verses composed with smaller Chandasas, thereby generally having a slightly increased pace. This is challenging because for the Angika, or rather for the Anga, to move or to demonstrate or to act or react, it takes time. This Saukhya of Angika is important as dance is a physical art of body, mind and heart. To understand this better, let us consider a verse from Sharada Bhujanga Stotra of Adi Shankaracharya. Lalamanka phalam lasadgana lolam swabhaktyika palam yashashri kapolam. With bejeweled forehead which is beaming and ecstatic in music, she looks after her devotees with a smile which lilts her beautiful cheeks, is the meaning of this verse, and it continues further with many other descriptions. This verse is set to Bhujanga Prayata Chandas, naturally coming very close to Khanda Chapu. However beautiful to sing and render as stuti, the problem comes in the execution of the same in dance. The beauty of the composition is lost if we sing either in much slower or a much faster pace than the original. A faster pace, than the original, will leave the dancer to only give poses for the verse, while a slower pace, than the original, will lead to monotony. So, it becomes invariable to break the structure while keeping the original Sahitya intact. Meaning, the Sahitya Lalamanka Phalam Lasadgana Lolam Swabhaktyeka Palam Yashashri Kapolam is to be kept intact, but not to be rendered or sung as Khanda Chapu now. Let us work this out logically. Khanda is 5. Lesser than Khanda is not possible because it will further increase the pace. So naturally it should be a pace higher than 5. There is very limited difference between 5 and 6. So 6 is ruled out as well. The verse fits to 7, but it comes with a struggle and it hears to be forcefully fitted to 7. See. Lalamanka phalam lasadgana lolam swabhaktyeka palam yashashri kapolam. 8 has a natural feel without any harm to the meaning, and it is suitable for a comfortable Angika also. 9 and 10 has an unnecessary drag in the Sahitya and music. So, one of the aesthetic possibilities is singing this verse in Adi Tala. Let us listen to this now.
Lalamanka phalam lasadgana lolam swabhaktyeka palam yashashri kapolam. Lalamanka phalam lasadgana lolam swabhaktyeka palam yashashri kapolam.
This sort of decision making comes with practice of execution and experience as we know it. As per the Angika treatment, the dancer can perform Padartha Abhinaya or an exalted imitation through Angika. For example, Lala Mankapalam can be Abhinaya Hastas or even Karanas like Nistambitam, Gandasuchi or Mattali and such others, all of which can be comfortably placed in 8. It is interesting to note that clues for Korves and Jatis, which we often use in Stutis, can be found from the prasas in the verse. The main job of a prasa is to add more beauty because of its nature of Samanashruti. Let us look at a Tilana where we can observe that the prasa pattern has been an inspiration for the Tilana pattern. This is a composition of my dear friend Vidushi Nagashri Narayan. The Sahitya for this Tilana is from the Lalita Pancharatna Stotra of Adi Shankaracharya.
भजामि ललिते तव पुण्यनाम कामेश्वरीति कमलेति माहेश्वरीति श्रीशाम्भवीति जगता जननी त्रिपुरेश्वरीति तां तं सरि गसनि दसनि गदीं दिं निगमग सरि सनि दतों तों गमद मग सरि गस सरि गमद रि गमद स गमद सनि तदीं गिणतों तदीं गिणतों तदीं गिणतों सर्ति गमद तत्तीं गिणतों गम दसनि दीं दीं त उदर दीं दिरन जडुत्तीं 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 तनदिरनधीं तनदिरनधीं तनदिरन जडुत्तीं जडुत्तीं जडुत्तीं
Sometimes we break the structure of a verse for the establishment of an emotion. This is done purposefully by the dancer. This is not similar to Gadya, but a concrete Padya still, of which the words are separately elaborated. This treatment is very common in our Bharatanatyam. This has a charm of its own. The following verse is an excerpt from my production Maya Suriyam, based on the love of Hidimba and Bhima. The imagination is that Hidimba can no more bear the pangs of love, but she is not able to understand what this new feeling is. So she creates a Sakhi out of her magical powers to help her understand. The lyrics are originally set to Treshra Chapu by Vidwan Arjun Bharadwaj. Vitala is an often used concept in dance. It is a possibility where the dancer chooses to perform the particular Sahitya as per its own pace without the bounds of an Alankara Tala or a Chapu Tala. This is done because the Sahitya is bound by its own structure and doesn't need the requirement of an external Tala above it. Meaning, the laya of the Sahitya, although doesn't get fulfilled as per the norms of the Alankara Tala system, it has a charm and a sense of completion. In terms of workability, it can have 3 possibilities. One, where the charm of the Sahitya becomes pronounced by additional music. Two, where the charm in the Sahitya is pronounced by the use of gamakas. And three, where the Sahitya is either sung, shortly without any raga elaborations, or rendered as it is, and the difference in different segments may be marked by the use of a beat. This method is used while performing a shloka or a padya or a viruttam or even churnike. In all the cases, the pace is determined by the singer or a dancer. Let us look at an example where the charm in the structure of the Sahitya is pronounced by the use of gamakas. Let us now look at the example where additional music further embellishes the relish in the charm and structure of Sahitya, thereby giving a sense of completion also. This is an excerpt from the CD Geeta Govindam, tuned and sung by the legendary Dr. Padma Subramaniam.
प्रविशराधे माधव समीपं कुरु मुरारे मङ्गलशतानि कुरु मुरारे मङ्गलशतानि प्रविशराधे माधव समीपं प्रविशराधे.
Let us look at an example for treatment 3 now, where each khanda is rendered or sung marked by a beat. This is also from the CD Geeta Govindam, rendered by Dr. Padma Subramaniam.
वेदानुद्धरते जगं निवहते भूगोलम् उद्बिभ्रते दैत्यं धारयते बलिं चलयते क्षत्रक्षयं कुर्वते पौलस्त्यं जयते हलं कलयते कारुण्यमातन्वते म्लेच्छान्मूर्छयते दशाकृतिकृते कृष्णाय तुभ्यं नमः कृष्णाय तुभ्यं नमः कृष्णाय तुभ्यं नमः.
Chandas and Tala is rather instinctive in spirit. If rasa is the goal, then one needs to be aware of every aspect in dance, right from the thought to sahitya, music and its treatment. Understanding the principles and working methods of both systems is very important because it gives insights on the treatment of Kavya Sahitya from meaning to structure to Tala and music. Also, one can definitely sense the very dhwani in the Sahitya if we observe the structure and placements of padas and aksharas. There are many examples in our literature to show this. We need to observe that our Tala system accommodates the aksharas in the already set structure. I mean the set Tala. For example, if the total number of aksharas in a line or a verse is say 9 or 14 or any number, then the Tala is decided accordingly. The problem will not come when the aksharas are even, but it arrives when it is uneven. We will have to sort of fit the verse forcibly to some tala either by extending the matra or by reducing it. The chances here are of making laghu as guru or guru as laghu. We might miss the meaning and the purpose and also the beauty of the word by doing so. Chandas is at the level of meter directing a pace, and Tala is physically directing the very structure. We saw this in the example of Vachana, where even though the mathematics tallied in the alternatives of Mishra Chapu, the overall approach of the structure were different from each other. This has an influence on the music composer and the dancer. One needs to allow the Sahitya to flourish in its space. Then the structure will be a pushti to bhava. Thus, content to form and form to content relationship is natural and poetic and thereby appreciable. We must remember that Laya is not a fixed entity, but it reveals itself as much as we sense it. And this is evident in our practicing traditions also. In the Karnataka classical music system, the fundamental paces, that is, Trashra, Chaturashra, Khanda, Mishra, and Sankirna, will remain constant even if the speed is increased or decreased. That is, Trashra will remain Trimatra and Chaturashra will remain Chaturmatra irrespective of the speed. While in the Hindustani music system, the basic quality of pace is progressive. That is, Trashra will remain Trimatra only, but the pace between the first matra to second matra and then to third matra and the following first matra of the next Trashra will progressively increase. This is evident in forms like bhajans and abhangs. I would like to share an insight which I received from my guru Dr. Shobha Shashikumar at this point. The concept of laya is so subtle that it necessarily doesn't need to be put to a structure or a box to feel it. I mean, it is subtler than the form. Take Tana for example. Each Ananta, I mean a Khanda in Tana, has a different feel and structure. Structure not physical now, but a structure which accommodates Ananta as it comes and gives a sense of completion, while simultaneously accommodating the next Ananta. So Laya is something which is what it is. A complete unit while being abstract at the same time. And the dancer can and must be able to sense it ideally because it can be a vibhava. The scope of the study of Chandas can be extended to its relationship between the structure and raga and also the relationship between the Chandas and Dhwani. Clues for such significant inquiries are found in our Alankara Shastras and also in our oral traditions and practices. Our discussion has been like pointers for the capacity of analysis and not an actual analysis in total. I would like to thank my guru Dr. Shobha Shashikumar for her valuable insights. I would like to thank Dr. Manorama B N for her constant encouragement and valuable suggestions. I thank my dear friend Vidushi Nagashri Narayan for providing me most of the audio materials and also tuning some of the songs. All the materials used in this discussion is for academic purposes only and the copyrights belong to the artists. The audio of Dr. Nagavalli Nagaraj is from the CD Ashtanayika, comprising the Nayika compositions of Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganesh, released in the year 2000. The audio of Dr. Padma Subramaniam is from the CD Geeta Govindam, released in the year 2008. I sincerely thank Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganesh for introducing me to the concepts of poetics through the series of Padyapana along with valuable lectures and discussions. I am inspired by Vidwan D.V. Prasannakumar for his brilliance in percussion in both thought and performance. I thank my friend Vidushi Madhulika Srivatsa for her suggestions on the process of this particular series. I thank and wish Noopura Bhramari for all its insightful endeavors. Namaste.